What's up, everyone? It is your host, Ghost, coming to you live with another wonderful video. How's everyone doing today? Sorry, gotta adjust the camera and everything per usual. Eventually, I'll get another one and I won't have to do this anymore. There we go. Oh, sorry about that. All right. So I am back again with another wonderful video. How is everyone doing today? Hope everyone's doing well. I forgot to put my banner. There we go. Sorry, I had to organize everything. All right. Sorry, I spilled a bit of my coffee. So before I go forward, make sure you follow me at official WGhost on X. Best way to check me out, see what's going on with me. Let's see. Just gotta make sure that all my make sure my audio is good. Cool. Audio is good. All right, done the important part. Make sure the audio is good. So what we're gonna make sure you follow me at rumble.com/withghost and rumble.com/gamingwithghost. Those are my best channels to follow me on. Follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv at official with ghost. What else? I think that's about it. Other than my YouTube channel, of course, is with Ghost and everything. Speaking of my YouTube channel, 1 second. I want to give, let's see. That is for, no, that was, Waycar R for a new subscription on YouTube. Shout out to you, my man. Appreciate it. Used to have a better audio thing, but now I switched mics and everything had to change. Blah blah blah. Not important. All right. So what we're going to talk about today is Alex Jones has been reinstated at X, formerly known as Twitter. Gonna read that, and then Tate, Elon Musk, and Alex Jones talk about kids on an X space. I guess if you use X, there's like these spaces that you can like talk to people on and shit, like have a discussion, whatever. Never been on one, but yeah. So they all have there's a bunch of other people talking, but yeah. So they have to talk kids for a little bit. So we're gonna watch that, see what they have to say. Let me see. And then JWaller talks about the subway shooter that we watched not too long ago. So be on the lookout for that. That's what we're going to talk about. Unfortunately, like I like JWaller and everything. Unfortunately, he doesn't really understand what he's talking about when it comes to this stuff. He has some points, I would say, but they're not very valid considering what he was arrested for and why and everything like that. So we're just gonna check that out, and like I said, I like JWaller. He's very intelligent. I think he's really good on intersexual dynamics. I like a lot of what he has to say. It's just this time around, what he said wasn't correct. If that makes any sense. And then, of course, we're going to talk about Donald Trump. He did a speech not too long ago where he doubled down on his dictator comment. He made a few other comments, and people, went insane and very upset. Blah blah blah. So we'll check that out as well. Let's see. So we got 3 of those. I think we'll watch. And then a teenager in Texas got killed, unfortunately, by an illegal immigrant, which is terrible, honestly. Sorry, hold on. Sorry, I got distracted there. All right, so we'll talk about that. I got to bring up a report on it because all I got is a quick little snap of it. We're gonna watch an old video of tyrannical cops. We're gonna watch that real quick, and then UPenn President Liz Miguel has resigned due to her apparently anti-Semitic testimony at one point. I think it was on Congress or whatever. I saw a bit. I didn't really react to it or watch it because it wasn't interest. But it's interesting to see someone actually resign when they say something wrong. Then let's see. And then Democratic politician, I think she lost her race. Yeah. Lost her race due to her online sex life being exposed. Now, read that again and tell me how that makes sense. I'll say it again and we'll see. And you have time to figure out how that makes sense. Her online sex life was exposed. Okay. So, okay. And then Joe Biden lies about the Second Amendment again. I haven't watched this, so I have no idea what he says, but I'm sure we'll listen to it. And then we're going to watch some old footage from August 1st, 2023 of Ashley Biden calling Project Veritas and confirming that her leaked diary was legitimate. So we'll give it a look-see there. So, without further ado, let's get to it. All right. So, breaking: Alex Jones to be reinstated to X. Oh, actually, hold on. Let's see if I can find it. Before I do this real quick, I wanted to bring up the reason he got banned in the first place. I'm sure this thing will talk about it. Hold on. Maybe I can just Google this real quick. Okay. I can't find it real quick, so whatever. So let's get back to it. You basically got banned for like asking a bunch of questions with some guy at some point. Sorry. It's apparently all it's got. All right, the people have spoken. Axel wrote, "It's time to reinstate at real Alex Jones, Vox Poli, Vox deny." Elon Musk said he's considering reinstating Alex Jones on Twitter X. He said he'd run a poll and perhaps let the people decide. While waiting for the poll to comments, Alex decided to get one going himself. The positive response was astounding. Of the 58,901 who participated in the poll, 92% of those surveyed said yes, Jones should be reinstated. The people have spoken. Alex, whatever, wrote, "It's time to reinstate at real Alex Jones, Vox Populi, Vox deny." Okay. Elon then launched his own, and it appeared people do indeed want Elon back. I think that clearly means that meant Alex Jones. What the fuck is this Latin phrase? Oh, fuck. Okay, cool. I just brought it up from that's why. Okay. That's a Latin phrase. The voice of the people is the voice of God. So there we go. Okay. We'll consider in general, since the platform aspires to be a global town center, permanent bans should beware. Also, if he says anything false on this platform, then at community notes will correct him, whereas that would not be the case elsewhere. Let's hold a poll, Musk said on Thursday. There's been many calls from other users to have him reinstated. Musk has reinstated many controversial people since buying Twitter and making it into a free speech space. His largest unban was former President Donald Trump, who was kicked off not only Twitter but also Facebook and Instagram after the Capitol riot on January 6, 2021, for which he has been blamed. Musk held a poll, and the poll demanded Trump's return. The people have spoken, Musk said. Vox Poli, Vox deny. Jones has been banned on platform when it was still under founder Jack Dorsey's leadership. His alleged violation was confronting journalists Oliver Darcy and Ben Stitler over continuously defaming him and trying to cost some advertisers on InfoWars. Tucker Carlson sat down with Jones for a wide-ranging interview this week on Tucker on X. The interview touched on those controversial subjects that Jones is known for and detailed the impact that lawsuit brought by Sandy Hook parents has had on him personally as well as the company. Jones was vilified after calling into question the school shooting con in 2012. He later apologized for his remarks and has been ordered to pay restitutions in $85 million, which was ridiculous. I don't agree with what he said, but 58, wait, was it? Sorry. What was it? 58, was it? Yeah, it was $85 million in restitution for something that's happened years ago. It's kind of ridiculous, honestly. It really is ridiculous. Let's see. Okay. Let's see if I can find this video real quick because I know there was one. I meant to save it, but I messed up. Cool. I'm probably not going to watch it all because that would be ridiculous, but this is apparently what got Alex Jones banned on Twitter. Well, back then, Twitter, because this is 2008 or 2018. Sorry. So we'll probably watch like maybe a minute or so of this. Probably watch it until I can get my other crap up. Oh yeah, about a minute or so, unless something gets good, which I doubt.
Guy that goes around policing and calling for censorship and then claims that Trump's wrong, there's no censorship of conservatives or patriots. You are incredibly shameful.
How are you doing, Alex?
You're just look at you. You are literally an anti-American, anti-free speech coward. You're going to go down the history books at the Criminal News Network. This is one of the main people right here who thinks you have no memory, who sits there and lobbies. Show him. It sits there and lobbies people to take other news off, claiming they're fake when CNN is the fakest WMD, Gulf Arab state dictatorship funded. Unbelievable. I mean, look at those eyes, folks. If you want to see the eyes of a rat, I'm seriously, just I'm looking at the camera. Look at those eyes. Look at that slobbering to the system. And the criminals at CNN, all their warmongering and death, all their fake news, and then running around trying to police the internet and try to shut people down. And then you think people are so stupid. On CNN a week later, you say no one's censoring anybody, no one's pushing for censoring, and then you say that Trump is the one attacking the press, but only does to stand up to your lies. Just look at this guy's eyes, man. That is who will rule your life.
All right, so there you go. So like I said, I wasn't going to watch too much of it, but that's apparently the video that got Alex Jones banned. So he confronts this dude, calls him evil, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it goes around. Look, I'm not the biggest fan of Alex Jones. Whenever he went on Crowder, I honestly always didn't watch that episode because the dude's a little too much. He's a little crazy, in all honesty. And look, apparently he's been right on a lot of things he's called out and stuff, and that's cool. But dude, the guy just every time he talks, he just sounds more insane. So yeah, I don't really watch him or anything, but I don't think he should have ever been banned at all. Banning's dumb. Sorry. Fuck. There we go. Sorry. My stuff is acting weird. All right. But yeah. Sorry. But yeah, I don't believe anyone should be banned for what he said or anything like that. It's really dumb to ban someone. Yeah. Hold on. My shit's getting all fucked up. There we go. Okay. All right. Anyways. So yeah, Alex Jones, like every time I watch him, he's really annoying whenever he talks. To me, personally, to me. So yeah. All right. So let's but it's good that he got reinstated. That's a good thing. We should all be happy about it. All right. So, like I said, there's these spaces. I think they're called X space or some shit where people have, sit around and have a discussion and everything. And I think in the same space, Vivek ended up taking a piss, and everyone heard it. We're kind of making fun of him, so that was kind of funny. And then, of course, he's getting roasted over it because whatever. So unprofessional. I mean, probably should have turned it off and everything like that. Muted his mic or something, but he didn't do it. It's not that big of a deal. He's just taking a piss. It's not like everyone was watching. Anyways, let's listen to Elon Musk, Andrew Tate, and Alex Jones talk about kids.
So something that is really important is you just literally have to have kids, or there's no next generation. I mean, Alex, do you have kids?
Yes, I do. I'm not as prolific as you, but I wish I was. They're the best thing in my life. I have 4.
Okay, great. And Andrew?
I do have a few. I won't let you down, Elon. I'm coming to take over your title. I'm coming to take over. I'm doing my best. I got to use my good looks for something.
Well, I think we ought to encourage people to have kids. And
Elon Musk apparently has 11.
And this is the bottom line argument. This is what is so important. We just talked about how the globalists are ultimately selfish and only care about their own power.
Most of the globalists don't have children, and
of course because they're selfish.
Something that is really important.
All right, so there you go. So yeah, they talked about kids. Kids are very important. I'm a father myself. My daughter is amazing. I'm also, about to be another father again. We have another one on the way. So I agree, father, that is extremely important. And, they went on to their conspiracy theories and everything like that, which, may very well not be conspiracy theories, honestly, if you listen to them. But, Elon Musk apparently has 11. Alex Jones has 4. I think Tate has 3 or 4 at the moment. So. But yeah, I think that's something discussion we should have more often these days is kids having kids and stuff, because kids are wonderful. They're annoying as hell. Not gonna lie, but they're wonderful to have. They're dumb as fuck, though. Let's be honest, they're dumb as fuck. But I think having kids is a great thing. We should all aspire to have kids of our own. The first step always, of course, is to ensure we find a good woman before getting kids. It shouldn't be just like, oh, let me just get kids to have kids. We should make sure that we have the intent of having a good family as well. That starts always with having a mother at first. But yeah, all right. So there we are. But yeah, it was pretty cool hearing 3 men here, talk. These X spaces are kind of cool. I don't really participate in them in much most of the time because half the time I'm fucking busy working. So, but they seem pretty cool. 3 men here, maybe never would ever be in the same room together. Can have a I mean, knowing Musk, possibility they would get in a room with it together. But they could sit there, in their respective spaces, have a conversation, and we all can watch and listen, which is fairly cool. All right, let's move on. And like I said, having kids is great. Everyone should have kids. All right, so JWaller is watching this. I'm sure this is an old video, and he's fairly uninformed, I would say. Sorry. Hold on.
He reportedly told. Are you system A homeless man tried to rob a woman on a New York City subway. He reportedly told the woman, "Give me $1 or I'm taking your purse." John Rowe reached into his backpack, pulled out his sidearm, and fired a few warning shots into the tracks. Homeless guy ran off, and both were eventually arrested. Homeless guy was released on no bail, and the so-called vigilante, who was gainfully employed and legally owned the gun in West Virginia, he was charged with reckless endangerment, menacing, and another charge, and had to post $10,000 bail.
This guy going to jail and having a $10,000 bond over protecting a woman in public, and by the way, legally having that firearm, is just completely unacceptable. If you see a woman getting hit or being attacked in public, you're a hero for helping that woman, not a criminal. If this guy's still in jail, let me know. I'll bail his ass out myself.
The homeless man tried to rob a...
All right. So I've discussed this before, and I've actually commented on the video. No one's responded, unfortunately, because I'm trying to chase that clout, because I'm a clout chaser. So here's the thing. Like, I understand the sentiment behind it and everything, but the thing is if you're going to use deadly force, you got to have a good reason to do it. And what I've always said is, to use deadly force, you need to have some sort of threat of bodily harm or injury. And unfortunately, this guy here that is dealing with this crime and everything didn't have any of that. All he heard was, give me $1 or I'll steal your wallet. You can't use self-defense to protect your property, fortunately. You can't use self-defense to protect your property. Or deadly force, sorry. You can't use deadly force to protect your property. That's what it actually is, my bad. And again, I understand the sentiment and I agree with the sentiment behind it. But like I said, you can't use deadly force to protect property. If I remember correctly, the subway shooter didn't hear any threat of bodily or death or bodily harm. Another reason why you would be able to use deadly force against an individual. He didn't hear any of that. He also didn't hear, so there's no threat of death or bodily harm, which is, a very important key when using self-defense or with deadly force, or he didn't have a reasonable fear of death or bodily harm, which is another key component for using self-defense with deadly force. He also showed he didn't have that reasonable fear due to the fact that he fired a couple of warning shots. You don't fire warning shots if you're in reasonable fear of death or grievous bodily harm. So he didn't get charged with trying to protect a woman, although ironically, the woman ended up going out against the guy that helped her. She said she'd rather her get robbed than him pulling out a gun and firing. So that's why he got hit with those charges: public menacing, reckless endangerment, etc. Because he didn't have a reasonable fear of death or bodily harm, and he fired a couple of warning shots, which is reckless endangerment. If you fire a gun, you are responsible for every round that comes out of that bullet. Now, obviously there's mitigating factors. If you shoot someone and the bullet deflects off their bone or something, or a fragment deflects off their bones or something, or it goes through them and it hits someone else, but you are defending yourself, there's mitigations and stuff that'll protect you from getting in trouble for stuff like that. But in general, if you fire a gun and you're not pointing it at an attacker and you just fire it, that's reckless endangerment right there. Fucking Biden once said, if you got a couple intruders, just jump out on the porch and shoot a shotgun in the air. Very, very illegal. That's reckless endangerment as well. So yeah. And then there's something else I want. Just because you can legally have the firearm in West Virginia doesn't necessarily mean that you can legally have it in New York. New York has some strict gun laws. And this happened in New York City on a subway. So yeah, just because you can legally own one in West Virginia doesn't mean it's illegal in New York. Different states have different gun laws, unfortunately. So I reviewed the subway shooter. I gave my honest assessment, although, I understand His reasoning, what he used was not an appropriate use of self-defense. Also, also I said don't just help random people because they'll just end up betraying you. So that's another thing. All right. But again, I like JWaller. I think he's a fairly intelligent man. I don't think he's very informed on self-defense law and their applications of it. All right, let us watch people get triggered by Trump.
Baker today in the New York Times, he said that I want to be a dictator. I didn't say that. I said I want to be a dictator for one day. But the New York Times said, and you know why I wanted to be a dictator? Because I want a wall, right? I want a wall, and I want to drill, drill, drill. That's true. So, well, we did. We built a band. Baker today.
Okay. So here's Trump doubling down on his, dictator comment. Now, look, it's obviously, some sort. It's a tactic. It's a tongue-in-cheek thing where he's like, "Oh, yeah, I want to be a dictator," because everyone says he wants to be a dictator, and so he goes on that, "Oh yeah, I want to be a dictator, but the reason I want to be a dictator is to build the wall and drill, baby, drill." So he's kind of like, it's what Trump does. He leans into it, and he goes with it just to piss people off. I don't think anyone that's intelligent would think, oh, he actually wants to be a dictator. All right. And if you really think he wants to be a dictator, then you're just a moron. He's never done any dictatorial things in the past, even though he could. Joe Biden has done far more stuff that's probably closer to dictatorial than Trump does. I don't like the talk, even if it is a joke. I don't generally like it. But that's just me. Again, I understand what he's doing, and obviously, if you start trying to become an actual dictator, we should definitely remove him from office immediately. But I don't think he's actually going to do it. A lot of people thought he was going to do that when he first, came and ran and everything, and he turned out to be an actually very free and fair president.
You've opened up a Pandora's box, and I only can say to Joe is be very careful what you wish for, because what you've done is a terrible thing. When a president leaves, especially very popular, I got 75 million votes that they know of. We're not talking about the millions that were played with. Never forget, our enemies want to take away my freedom because I will never let them take away your freedom. It's very simple. Very simple. They want to silence me because I will never let them silence you. And in the end, they're not after me. They're after you. I just happen to be standing in their way. And you've heard that before. I mean that 100%. We've opened up a Pandora's box, and I only can say.
Now, what we can discern from this is he's going to be going after Biden. I don't know. Or he could be saying, what he could do, he could be saying is, Biden has set a precedent where now former political enemies can be can be now, because the unspoken rule is, regardless of what your opponent did, unless they were highly illegal, you didn't go after your opponent after they left office. You kind of just left them alone, regardless of what was said on the campaign trail. That was the unspoken rule. And now Biden has violated that by going after Trump to try and prevent him from running for another term. And so now that could be, seen as setting a precedent where now everyone who's, even is part of this at all, will now do the same thing. And that could be the Pandora box he's talking about. I think he might be alluding to him going after Biden as well. Wouldn't surprise me. Really don't think he should. I think he should just, be the bigger person, let it go, and call it a day. Nothing good will ever come out of him going after Biden, although it would be legitimate for him to do so. Okay, and now here's the one that's getting everyone all upset over.
But I went onto that stage just a few days later, and a general who's a fantastic general actually said to me, "Sir, been on the battlefield, men have gone down on my left and on my right. I stood on hills where soldiers were killed. But I believe the bravest thing I've ever seen was the night you went onto that stage with Hillary Clinton after what happened. And then that woman asked you the first question about it. And I said, locker room talk. It's locker room talk. What the hell? What are you talking? Locker room talk." That was not a great.
All right, so people are all upset about this. He's like, he's comparing himself to soldiers that die on the battlefield, blah, 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 blah. Look, this is Trump. He's hyperbolical. He exaggerates. Odds are the general said, hey, that was a pretty brave thing you did there, going up after, talking about grabbing them by the pussy and shit and just going locker room talk. That was pretty brave of you. And, Trump, hears that and he'll just expound it and be like, this is a general who's led men on battlefield and et cetera, et cetera. So he said I was braver than that. That's probably what really happened. I don't think he's actually like comparing himself to soldiers dying on a battlefield. I don't think he's doing that. I don't think he's even thinking that he's doing that. I just think he's trying to boost his own ego and prop himself up by saying shit like this. It's something he does all the fucking time. He exaggerates, boost it up. Yeah, it is what it is. I also think people are way too sensitive today. It's just ridiculous. They're freaking out. They're complaining. It was oh, he thinks he's better than soldiers. He's braver than them. Blah blah blah. He doesn't actually think that. He's just trying to exaggerate, and he's trying to boost his look in front of his audience, et cetera, et cetera. It's something Trump does all the goddamn time. So let's take a step back and chill. There's nothing wrong with calling him out. It's like, hey, dude, this isn't quite right. You're not braver than soldiers fighting on the battlefield. You're just some politician. All right. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you start getting into the realms of, oh, we're all offended because he said this stuff, it's a bad look. So that is what it is. All right. So this happened not too long ago. I think just the other day. Yeah, December 10th. Oh yeah, so yesterday. Let's see if I can zoom in and read this. No, I can't. Okay. Anyways, so this high school teenager in Texas, cheerleader in Texas, was found dead in her apartment, and apparently the murderer is an illegal alien. So let's go and check this out. Edna, Texas is where it's at. An update is expected Monday morning about the man charged with the murder of a high school cheerleader in Edna. Sorry. Rafael Govea Romero is booked in the Jackson County Jail, charged with capital murder in the death of 16-year-old Edna high school cheerleader Elizabeth Medina. Edna police did not immediately release Romero's age, but did say he is an adult. Officials added he is undocumented. Okay. Romero was arrested over the weekend in Schlunberg, about an hour northwest of Edna. Before Romero's arrest, police released photos of a person of interest in the case. The photos showed a man believed to be Romero wearing a black Volcom hooded sweatshirt. He was seen driving a silver Ford Taurus with a model year ranging from 2010 to 2018. Here's the footage. He's running. So far, authorities haven't said what led them to charge Romero with killing Elizabeth. More details on motive are expected Monday in Monday morning's police update. Officials have not said if Romero will be granted bond. ABC 13 has been in touch with Elizabeth's family. They said they don't recognize Romero at all. On December 5th, Elizabeth's mother found her daughter dead in their Edna apartment. She said a few weeks prior that her home was broken into. She wonders if that was the motive again, but this time Elizabeth happened to be home. Jacqueline Medina claimed she knew something was wrong when her daughter didn't show up to the town's lighted Christmas parade, where she was supposed to perform with her cheerleading squad. That's when she said she rushed home. The mother made the gruesome discovery and called police to Cottonwood Apartments. First responders tried to save the teen, but she was pronounced dead at the scene. It's a very sad story. She was bubbly, happy, funny, basically my friend. We grew up together. I had her when I was only 16. Oh, that's terrible. She was just her. It was just her and I against the world, and they took her from me. Police haven't given details as how exactly Elizabeth died. A GoFundMe was set up to help the family funeral expenses. Come back to this post for updates. ABC 13 will provide an update as some key details of the investigation are made public. Edna is a small town of nearly 6,000 people in Jackson County, located about 100 miles southwest of Houston. So the GoFundMe is www.gofundme.com/f/left/Elizabeth Medina, Elizabeth-Medina. If you want to donate to it. Oh shit, 18,586 has been donated. That's great, guys. This is what's all about. This is the thing about humanity. So it's amazing what humanity can do sometimes, where they see something tragic and they'll go out and they'll try and help as much as they can. I mean, that's a good amount. I wish they're so goddamn broke. I could at least do the GoFundMe too. Not really broke, but I make a good living, but all my fucking paycheck goes to my family. So unfortunately, I can't donate on a spur of the moment thing. Just seeing if an update has happened yet. She was found dead in the bathtub. Okay, still not an update. So maybe I'll get into it tomorrow some more. But this is what happens when we have a border that's completely unchecked. We're this border. Well, we're and Texas is doing a very good job. Don't get me wrong. When it comes to the border, they're trying very hard, but they can only do so much, and there's not much they can do than anything. So it's very terrible that this happened. Unfortunately, And the biggest thing we should realize about it all is that we need to start really policing our border, so some of these crimes can be prevented. This is a young lady that's life was gone before she even really started it. Yeah, she's 16, but there's still a lot of life to go for. And her poor mother, who's had her, only her for the last 16 years. And and look, like I said, I have kids, and when you have kids, they become your world, and it becomes very difficult to go on and to think about anything else. So I really feel for her mother. I really hope she has family around that can be with her and keep her strong, because I'm sure this is really hard for her. So thoughts and prayers go out to her poor mother, Jacqueline. I'm really glad the world has stepped up and helped as best they can. 18,000 already, 18,500 already donated. It's really great. So just terrible. Fuck this fucking asshole. I mean, again, it's innocent until proven guilty, so we don't really know if he has anything to do with it. I should be better with this. But, all right, let me rephrase that. Fuck the asshole who did this. If it turns out to be Romero, fuck him. And if he doesn't get like the death penalty or life sentence, the second he's done, he should be sent back to Mexico and build a wall. Texas is really doing the best they can, but it's the federal government's responsibility to be protecting its citizens from illegal immigrants. All right, so this was an old footage of COVID. This police is attacking this woman, arresting her, quote unquote, due to the fact that she's not wearing a mask, apparently. I don't know if it's true, but that's apparently what it says up here. Oh, no, it's not this. Okay. So he's choking her out. It's very excessive. Is she resisting? Yes, but full on hand choke, a very excessive arrest. Like, goddamn. Look, if she was black, there have been riots in the streets, and this is what happened in COVID. People, you didn't wear a mask. Guess what? You're a bad person. Therefore, you needed to be arrested. You needed to be in trouble. So there's apparently another pneumonia flu going around China. Just for 24 election. Why don't you remember that when next time they try to tell you to stay, locked up? Don't let it happen again. We failed. We showed that we were willing to give up our freedoms for a sense of security. Remember what Benjamin Franklin said: if you sacrifice freedom for security, you'll get neither of both. I think that's what he said. Hold on, let me quote the word right. Okay, those who would give up liberty to purchase a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety. Those who desire to give up freedom in order to gain security will not have, nor do they deserve either one. So there you go. So I got it semi right. But remember that. All right, we failed. We failed when COVID happened. We can't fail again, people. All right. UPenn President Liz McGill steps down after controversial testimony on anti-Semitism. So she apparently testified before Congress on Semitism. anti-Semitism. Okay, hold on. Before I get into this, I kind of want to get the full context, and I didn't watch the first when she first did her shit. So let me see if I can look at watching. All right. So I think this is what got her so much heat.
At Penn, does calling for the genocide of Jews violate Penn's rules or code of conduct? Yes or no?
If the speech turns into conduct, it can be harassment. Yes.
I am asking specifically calling for the genocide of Jews. Does that constitute bullying or harassment?
If it is directed and severe or pervasive, it is harassment.
So the answer is yes.
It is a context-dependent decision, Congresswoman.
It's a context-dependent decision. That's your testimony today. Calling for the genocide of Jews is depending upon the context. That is not bullying or harassment. This is the easiest question to answer yes, Ms. McGill. So is your testimony that you will not answer yes?
If it if the
Yes
speech
or no?
becomes if the speech becomes conduct, it can be harassment. Yes.
Conduct meaning committing the act of genocide? The speech is not harassment? This is unacceptable, Ms. McGill. I'm going to give you one more opportunity for the world to see your answer. Does calling for the genocide of Jews violate Penn's code of conduct when it comes to bullying and harassment? Yes or no?
It can be harassment.
The answer is yes.
Okay, so that's apparently what is leading to her to resign. All right, so University of Pennsylvania President Liz McGill has resigned Saturday after widespread public outrage over testimony to Congress on anti-Semitism. The announcement came after days of intense pressure from Penn alumni, elected officials following McGill's botched Capitol Hill testimony earlier in the week. After refusing, along with the president of Harvard and MIT, to unequivocally condemn calls for genocide of Jews, McGill reportedly faced the likelihood the school board trustees would fire her as soon as Sunday. I write to share that President Liz McGill has voluntarily tendered her resignation as president of the University of Pennsylvania. She will remain a tenured faculty member at Penn Law. Board of Trustees Chairman Scott L. Bach wrote in a statement. Bach said that McGill agreed to stay on until an interim president is appointed. It has been my privilege to serve as president for this remarkable institution. It has been an honor to work with our faculty, students, staff, alumni, and community members to advance Penn's vital mission, McGill wrote. McGill resigned days after major donor Ross Stevens rescinded a $10 million gift to the school in protest of the college handling of anti-Semitism on campus and her leadership. The board of Penn's Wharton Business School also asked McGill to resign, and the University of Trustees held an emergency meeting on Thursday as the school faced backlash over her comments. Both Stevens and the Wharton board pointed to McGill's disastrous congressional testimony. statements to the reasons for their respective actions. Miguel will continue to will keep her position as a tenured faculty member at the University Law School. At issue were remarks Miguel made before the House Education and Workforce Committee this week, in which she refused to outright say that anti-Semitism chants and calls for the genocide of the Jewish people violate the school's code of conduct. We just heard this hearing. So, also the smiling and all that stuff was not a bad. Like it could be just like a reflex when getting pushed and pressed, but that's not a good look when it comes to TV. So I'm not reading those comments because we just listened to them. These comments set off a firestorm, as scathing condemnations for the university and extract clarifying remarks from Miguel posted on X a day later. There's a moment yesterday during yesterday's congressional hearing on anti-Semitism when I was asked if a call for genocide of the Jewish people on our campus would violate our policies. In that moment, I was focused on our university's longstanding policies aligned with the U.S. Constitution, which says that speech alone is not punishable, Miguel said. I was not focused on what I should have been, on the irrefutable fact that a call for genocide of Jewish people is a call for some of the most terrible violence human beings can perpetrate. Okay, that's a weird excuse. It's okay, but I really don't understand her apparent excuse. I wasn't focused on the policy of the university, even though I was asked about the code of conduct of the school's policy. I was thinking about the U.S. Constitution. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. So I'm sinking midway. So here's something. So this is from what's it called? Fire. It's God damn it. It's the Foundation of Individual Rights and Expression. What the hell? Oh. So this is why it said why most calls for genocide are protected speech. Scrolling through this. So First Amendment protects abstract advocacy for violence. I still don't think I even said that right, including calls for genocide. When Miguel and the president blah, 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 said it was all right, the First Amendment protects advocacy of violence so long as it doesn't cross the line into unprotected conduct of speech, like incitement or true threats. These narrow, well-defined exceptions protect individuals from immediate threats to their physical safety without risking a widespread crackdown on dissenting or unpopular speech. Supreme Court defined incitement in the landmark case of Bradburg versus Ohio. The justice held that the First Amendment protected speech at a Ku Klux Klan rally, complete with a burning cross. These armed Klansmen used slurs against blacks and Jews, calling for a revengeance of if the government continues to suppress the white Caucasian race, and announced a march on Congress on the 4th of July. The court made clear the speech promoting unlawful actions loses First Amendment protections only if it is directed to and likely to produce immediate lawless action. That's a necessarily high bar designed to protect a greater charge of political expression by capturing only speech that is all but inseparable from the unlawful actions that directly follows it. Hold on, gotta turn off my heat. Okay, quoting an earlier decision, the court reiterated that the mere abstract teaching of the moral property or even the moral necessity for a resort to violent force or violence is not the same as preparing a group for violent action and stealing it to such action. The First Amendment also makes exceptions for true threats, statements that communicate to another person's or group a serious expression of intent to cause them unlawful physical harm. Advocacy of genocide or violence remains protected speech, unless it meets one of these exceptions in the particular case in which it is uttered. So, the First Amendment would generally protect, for example, students peacefully marching across the Quad, chanting from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, even if the chants were interpreted as support to the ethnic ethnic cleansing or genocide of Israelis. But as Fire Legal Director Will Creeley recently explained, if the slogan were directed at a specific Jewish student by a student or group moving threatening towards him during a protest, that has turned violent and unstable. It may arguably constitute a true threat. Moreover, a campus speaker exhortation to a willing audience to attack a passerby might lawfully face punishment as incitement. So there we go. So that is the court's definition of incitement and their opinion on calling for a genocide of a people. So, so there we go. That's, so in all fairness, what this director, Liz Miguel, whatever her fucking name is. Was it Liz Miguel? Now that's bothering me. Yeah, Liz Miguel. Okay. Was saying was correct. It really depends on the context. If it's someone standing up there and chanting, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. And, it can be interpreted as an ethnic cleansing, as it has been, or a genocide of Israelis. It's free speech and it's protected. And it's not, I don't even think it's harassment either. Anyways. Okay. It's not even harassment, actually, because harassment requires targeted, unwanted behavior targeted at specific individuals. So even if it's saying, Jews are bad, Jews need to die or some shit like that, it's not really specific enough. I don't think that would be specific enough to constitute harassment or violate speech. I don't think so. I could be absolutely wrong on this, by the way, but I don't think that would constitute, because it's saying Jews, yes, but it's not specific enough. It's not saying, like, for example, if the students at the Quad were chanting, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, end the Jews on this campus, let's go get the Jews, and they're marching in a violent manner towards like the Jewish center on the state, that could be constituted as a true threat. And that's what's required to violate freedom, to lose your freedom of speech protection. So again, what Liz Miguel said was actually fairly accurate. It depends. It's a context depending decision. I think even if they said, all Jews should be, we should genocide the Jews, I think even that would be protected under free speech. Now it says we need to genocide the Jews on this campus. Let's go to the Jewish center and do it. Definitely not that would definitely not be protected speech. So I'm not an expert on this. I'm just telling you what I think. But that's what I think. Now, obviously, it's, a university that I think it's a private. I think UPenn's a private university. Yeah, it's a private university. Cool. So they're able to do, whatever they want. They can make their rules and, have people, get kicked out if they want. But yeah, so again, as much as we don't like it, it's actually a freedom of speech thing here. And, students are allowed to exercise their freedom of speech so long as they're not, doing an actual, threatening or call to action. Just because someone may feel uncomfortable with what they're saying or feel scared of what they're saying, unless it's actually targeted towards that individual, it's still freedom of speech. At least that's what I get from that reading. Okay. So moving on, from genocide to sex. That's a good segue, right? Her online sex life was exposed. She lost her election. Now she's speaking out. Susan Gibson campaign was rocked when an opponent exposed her private digital life to the public. She won't be the last. Nurse practitioner and former Democratic candidate for the Virginia House of Delegates, Susan Gibson, during an interview at her home on November 15th. Hold on. I think this is the OnlyFans gig. Susanna, sorry. Okay, yeah. So this chick has an OnlyFans, and she was running for campaign. So you can't really call it a private digital life because it wasn't private. It was online. So you can't really expose something that's public. You can bring attention to it maybe, but you can't really expose it. Like, this chick's insane. She this isn't. So look, her and her husband do sex stuff online for tips. Can't remember if she's OnlyFans or she's just or maybe they do webcam shit or something like that. Can't remember. But either way, this doesn't make any sense. You can't expose someone's you can't expose someone who posts shit on public. And even if it's behind a paywall, it's still kind of public, in my opinion. And look, if you're going to do a political job, or you're running for a public office or something, your opponent wants to win, and they will win by any means necessary that's legal. And going and not exposing, but drawing attention towards the fact that you do sex content with your husband, it's not exposing your private life. It's exposing. It's bringing attention to what you do. She should have been well aware of the fact that, if I go for running for office, this might come out because you're going to be on. Because let's be honest, if you look, there's going to be someone in your state, maybe near your town, maybe even right next to you, that's going to be watching your shit. Possibly, the internet expands everywhere. So, if you're going to run for public office, you should be well aware that some shit may come out. It's kind of like the key when it comes to this stuff. So this is just another hoe that's got all upset that she got, everyone knows what she does now. And now she's mad about it because she lost her office. Look, no one wants a sex worker for a fucking public official. Sorry. If you do this kind of work, you're going to lose some opportunities, whether it's men, jobs, etc. No one wants, a sex worker to be representing them. It is what it is. You made a choice, you made your bed, lie in it. Don't be all up, complaining that, my opponent showed everyone I was doing this. Well, maybe you should have done it in First place, if you wanted to go and do this shit, it's so dumb. All right, fucking moron. All right, let's get ready to go.
Because, the Second Amendment didn't say you can own any gun. You can own any weapon. You couldn't own a cannon when the Second Amendment was passed. You couldn't.
Wrong.
Anyway, don't get me started. But
see, he's like, he realized, oh shit, I'm fucked up. No, it actually did say you can own a cannon. Hold on, sorry. I was trying to see if I could find the goddamn. So if I remember, I see. Okay, so in the War of 1812, President James Madison issued more than 500 letters of marque to privateers. These letters, that's not right. I don't think he was president. Sorry. Letters of marque. James Madison basically wrote several letters of marque to privateers saying, yes, you can legally own cannons. So, I mean, the president's wrong. Like, yes, you can own cannons. There's a letter marquee. You can find that pretty much everywhere. Hold on. Oh, maybe he was president. Oh, okay. Yeah, now okay. I know what they're referring to now here. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, James Madison was like, yeah, basically, yeah, you can own cannons. It's completely legal to own cannon. Here you go. So what this essentially did was make piracy legal in the jurisdictions of the United States. And let's see. Okay, this is what's it doesn't see it. Never mind. That didn't say it. But the basics of it was, yeah, you can legally own cannons. So again, the president doesn't know what he's talking about. I know we're all surprised by this at this point, that the president doesn't know what he's fucking talking about, but it continues to happen. And y'all voted for him. So all right. So, but yeah, you can own, like, yes, he's right. The Second Amendment doesn't say you can own. You can own. What do you say? You can own any. Hold on. All right. Now I got to listen to what this fucking idiot said again. Okay. 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 It says the Second Amendment didn't say you can own any gun. It also didn't say that you can't own any gun. It's very clear. It's bear arms. So it kind of means any gun, honestly. If you really think about it, you have the right to bear arms. Okay, it doesn't specifically say which guns you can own, but guess what? It does. It kind of does. It says all guns. That's why you haven't seen any real like restrictions on 2A until like the 1900s. And I think it was like after like the 1950s ish might be the first one around that time. I could be wrong though, but it wasn't until the 1900s that you started seeing restrictions on 2A. All right, so this is apparently Ashley Biden calling Project Veritas.
Point, and I don't mean to. I don't want to have to get Secret Service involved in this, right? Because it's a whole process.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I am Ashley Biden. It is my stuff. So if you could just give all of that over, I would really appreciate it. I know you sent a picture to my husband with a camera and a few other things that are mine as well. So that would be really great. Where is a good place for him to meet you? This point, and I don't mean to. I don't.
Okay, so basically, this is old footage, and she basically confirms that hey, that stuff's all real. It's mine. Could you give it back? Okay. I mean, we all knew that diary was real, so I thought there'd be something more about it, but I guess I was wrong. All right, so there we go. We're all done for the day. I did a good job, right? I always do a good job. I'm awesome. Anyways, I hope you all have a good day. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope we learned some things. I think I did a little better than I normally do. Brought some context and some evidence and everything like that. We learned that yes, genocide, calling for genocide, advocating for genocide potentially could be lawful. So there we go, man. I know everyone probably finds that fairly uncomfortable, but it is what it is. What can you do? Let's see. We talked about 2A. We broke down some legal analysis. Well, not legal, really, because I'm not a lawyer, but some analysis on self-defense with JWaller. We showed again how the president's a fucking moron. I'm sure no one's surprised by that, honestly. Yeah. Got some context on Alex Jones was banned. Again, the reason it was banned wasn't really legitimate. I think they said harassment or bullying. I don't fucking know. But anyways, I hope you all have a good day. Make sure you follow me at official ghost, official W Ghost. Check out my Rumble channels, rumble.com/withghost, rumble.com/gamingwithghost, and then my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/ official with ghost. I hope you all have a good day. Oh, and check out YouTube, of course, youtube.com/withghost, or just click the links below. All right, there's links everywhere. Check out my Twitter. Check out my link there. I hope you have a good day. Peace out. And yes.